Yes. Back again. Coffee break with JN is back again. What a little coffee break swang. Coffee break with JN and my caffeines. You know who you are, caffeines, friends, regulars, not decaf, coffee break with JN. Going off. Not too hard. I'm just gonna leave you hanging on that. Not too hard. Not pause. Not too soft. Well, hello, guys. Well, hello. The aroma bars. Not too soft. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to your favorite one man show, Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN. Guys, I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Blah. No, I miss, yeah, a little culture club for you. That's right. Yes. Coffee Break with JN is back on your video scope. That's right. The best part of waking up is JN in your cup. Pause. Guys, let's do some hellos. Let's do some hellos. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. He's here. He's here. I know him. That's right. I know him. That's JN. I know him. Let's say some hellos to some of the people that have came in to the John. Yo, I see my man Jamal Flores. Yo, Joe, part of the Tiamat of Jamar and Jamal's. You know your D&D monsters. You know the Tiamat, the five-headed dragon, not King Ghidorah, the three-headed demon dragon, not Bodega Voltron. That's JN and comic book superstar Mike Hawthorne. No, the Tiamat of Jamal and Jamar's are a bunch of people who every time they go someplace get confused for somebody else. That is Jamar Nicholas. That is Jamal Flores. That is Jamal Eigel. That is Jamal Campbell. Did I say L. Jamal Walton? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Hey Jamal, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Who else is in this? Else is in here? I see my man, Studio of Compton. Studio of Compton. Shout out to my man Ray behind Studio Sky Tiger. Salute. Good to see you. Well, hello. Welcome home. Thank you, Super D. Hello, everybody. Say hello to Super D Parson. Read Rosebuds in your local newspaper. And I just saw on D's social today that Rosebuds is going international. How amazing is that, you guys? I think that has to be the first sip of the night. What do you guys say? Can we get a sip of? Get our sippers up. Man, come on. I feel like I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, let me find my sippers at Nova Gertz, Team Water, Sue's Pose. Here it is. Guys, sip of coffee for Super D Parson. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Rosebuds is great. You hear that, D? Getting love from a comic book great right there. What up, Paul Pate? Sip us up. That's right. Hey, Mama Carla. Hello. Good to see you. Traw's funny. Jonamat. I like Jonamat. The five-headed John. Yeah, I mean, good to see you, Draw's funny. And Draw's funny. I forget. I swear I knew who was behind your thingy, but I forgot. So, hello, welcome back. Glad to see you last night. D. Parson says, I'm crying. You're all amazing. I love this community. Yes, yes, yes. That's what it's all about. Chris, yes. I knew it. I would have shouted you out last night, but I forgot who was attached to the joint. Good to see you, Chris. Happy New Year. Yes, D, this is what it's all about. This is what the Jamar Nicholas Network, the JNN, is all about. It's about community. It's about tabernacles. It's about circling the wagons, you guys. You know, it's It's real crazy outside, but especially inside this creative community where you guys see it every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. EST when we go live on Pencil to Pencil. You see a whole lot of superstars up in the chat, right? That's real. And sometimes people are mad quiet in the chat because they're like, "Yo, is that really who? Yep. Is that yeah?" And I would hope, but I love when you see the support come out and come back. So yeah, you earn that. You earn that, John. Thank you. Did I finish saying my hellos? Did I say hello to Mr. Paul Pate? Hello, Paul Pate. Well, hello. Did I see my man Ronaldo, Sick of the Planet, hostess, Glizzy Mafia. I see you. Did I miss anybody? I think that's it for now. So the last time I saw you guys, the last time we visited stately Wayne Manor was before 2026, right? So I believe the last time we did a coffee break, it was still 2025. So I would like to say Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm sure this is at the point in your timeline where it's like, all right, bro, stop playing. We had to go back to work on Monday. It was a wrap, right? So, Ray, my podcast started a couple weeks ago, and if you didn't know, JN, you are my podcast role model. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Previously on Coffee Break with JN. That means a lot to me. I've come across a couple of people over the last couple of years who were like, yo, I should be doing a podcast. Yeah, sure, you should. And then they kind of don't. And then I'm like, why didn't you do? But I appreciate anybody that can put all the pieces together. It's right. It's not easy, is it? Right. I see a lot of people who, and this is so. Hey, Mama Carla, good to see you. Happy New Year. Um, as Manly likes to say, personality. You kind of have to have a personality to do this kind of stuff, or if not, you have a good team that can help you figure it out. Right? Maybe you need a teleprompter. Maybe you need, you know, notes, whatever. But a lot of people, you press record, it's just like, right. But because you guys all know it, because I have a 16 charisma with a +3 modifier. It is one of my fortunate for me, one of my traits. I'm an extroverted introvert. Going like thinking on my feet is part of my ADHD superpower. And you know, people say it all the time. It's like JN, like I mean, how? I'm just like, bro, just turn it on and just go. And they're like, but what? So anywho, but I appreciate you, Ray. And if you have guests, you should ask your boy to come on. Um, so I was talking about New Year's. So we're at that point where you definitely are like, yeah, this is over. Sean Chai, hello from the down the land down under, where it is currently tomorrow. Right? Did I do that right, or is it yesterday? It's tomorrow out there. Hello, good to see you. um, so, guys, let's just start there. How were you? How was your New Year? Let's. I know the world outside is on fire. The world's been on fire for several decades now. But tell me how you, as a person who lives on this marble, how was your New Year? As we get older, I feel like, and I don't know, maybe this talk about personality. This has been something that I have been well aware of for a long time. Even though I love the people, I love the people. I'm a man of the people. I am your friendly neighborhood poobah. I don't like crowds. I mean, I can manage, but I'm not comfortable in a crowd. I am not going to go down to uh, the art museum on New Year's Eve to watch LL Cool J on the Rocky Steps give a concert, and then we'll see some fireworks. I'm not doing any of that. When the Eagles win the Super Bowl and people are running all over the place, like jumping off of buildings and shit and climbing poles, pause. You don't see JN out there. You don't. I don't. That's not my deal. Sunshine says it is tomorrow and we're in a heat wave. You guys hear that? Tomorrow there's a heat wave. You heard it here first. Such a strange land. Caitlin, hello. How are you? Good to see you, my dear. It's been way, way too long. What are you doing with your life? What do you? How come you're not checking out Jamar Nicholas every 2 weeks on the internet? What's up with that? Good to see you, boo boo. Who was that in your picture? Is that a baby? Oh my god. What did I miss? That's right, Paul Payne. Let's just play dumb. Wait, what? What's going on outside? Shanshai says, I lost my job at the end of December. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm scared of how I'm going to keep a roof over my head. I totally understand. But I've finally had the mental and physical energy to get back to my art, and I couldn't be happier. That may be your salvation. And, one of the big things that we talk about on all of these networks that I'm a part of, or Pencil to Pencil, is we do a lot of pro talk and a lot of this and a lot of that. And how do you make all this stuff happen? And how do you spin all the plates on these tiny dowels? But then once in a while it creeps into the thing, and I'll be the first one to say it. If you like art and it brings you joy, just do that. I think some of the hardest lessons are for people who feel like they have to monetize everything in their life that they're good at, right? The joy gets transferred with the pressure of setting up at the craft fair, because now somebody said they really like the pottery you throw. Now you got your dad's truck full of pottery that now you have to sell because you just bought the space. That's not fun, right? None of that's fun. So if you can just like squirrel away 40 minutes in a weekend to sit over there and work on a page, or you bought some new Conte crayons or something from the store, and you're just like in your bliss. That's dope. That's a great respite from the scary world we live in, and I applaud that. Mama Carla says it's the first time in years that I slept through midnight. Yeah, I mean, I my eyes were real heavy, like at 10:15. I'm like, bro, what are we even doing right now? But I stayed up. Pause. Yeah, this is the first year I heard about this. I'm not talking about going insane because you're like trapped at a show and nobody's buying your stuff. That's a whole other hell. Is I just heard this from one of my neighbors with kids who introduced me to, I mean, I already forgot what it's called. Kind of the idea that there's a New Year's, I think it's called Noon Year's Eve or something like that. So all the kids get together, kind of like at somebody's house, like a play date, and they all have their little party hats on and the streamers and the clankers, the clacks. And when the clock strikes 12 p.m., they all celebrate, and it's awesome. And then they have juice or whatever. But because your kids should, I can't tell you what to do, but don't want to deal with a toddler who was up to midnight trying to wait for the ball to drop in the morning. Mom Carlos says, I'm glad to be done with 2025, on to create a new life. I'm with you on that. Yo, can we get another sipper? We don't usually do two sippers, you guys. Let's get another sipper from Mama Carla. Mama Carla, you get all the sippers, don't you? Get your pinkies up. Wow, I'm kind of rolling on this coffee. I got to slow down. Um, so yeah, anybody else want to share? Anybody else want to talk about New Year's? Um, did anybody? Well, I was saying that crowd thing to say that I don't like to go out. I don't like being out, period, on New Year's Eve. Like, I just try to get in the house and be done. Like, I'm not up at the bar at the top of the block, or I'm not at the Chili's or whatever. Like, I ain't trying to be out in the street with people, you know, right? Because people just kind of don't know how to handle their business. You know, one of my kind of bugaboos is I do not like being in transit after 2 p.m. I'm sorry, 2 a.m. at night. Mama Carla, you know about the city. You know how Philly gets down. It's just like everything just turns to crap after 2 in the morning. Yo, shout out to Bros. What up, Bros? Bros says, well, hello. Been here from the start, but you're on the TV, so couldn't comment easily. Hello from Bros's television. How do I look? Is I hope you guys are used to the LED lights. Shout out to my man Kari Randolph. Kari is one of my favorite comic book artists, and Kari was on Pencil to Pencil. Oh my God, it's years ago now. We've been doing this stuff for a while, y'all. And this is probably still maybe the end of lockdown or something like that, or maybe in the middle of it. And Kari was on, and he had these really dope LED lights, and he just kind of had like this purple thing going. I was like, "Yo, where'd you get those lights?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a little something, something." And it kind of he looked so profesh, and it was just like, "Yo, I need to get some LED lights up in here." Because if you guys remember, and especially when we went into Zoom land, you see people who were not controlling their light sources when they're when they're on camera. Like it's like they're sitting in the dark, kind of like a Bond villain. You know, in those spy movies where the guy opens the door to his apartment and there's a dude sitting in his chair with a gun in his lap. I've been waiting for you. How'd you get in here? Pew pew pew. Mad dark, right? And I'm just like, you know what? I need to, especially with my skin tone. You want to have some colors that radiate. You know what I mean? Right? They lose their minds. Ronaldo says it's not just Philly; it turns into a thriller video. One of my favorite parts of the thriller video, and if you, I mean, I was about to go into Gen X land anyway, but I remember the very first, you guys. I'm showing my age. The very first VHS cassette that we owned was the Michael Jackson Thriller tape. Because I remember this shit was expensive too. It was the Thriller tape was there was the video, and then there was like a making of, like behind the scenes thing. I don't know, maybe the whole thing was 30 minutes or something like that. We watched that thing until the tape popped. We used to let the tape rock till the tape popped. So my favorite part is at the very end of the thing where after Ola Ray wakes up off the couch after screaming, and Michael Jackson's like, "Hey, you're okay. It was just a dream or whatever." And he picks her up off the couch and he puts his arm around her and he walks off and did a freeze. He turns like this and he freeze frames, and his cat contacts are crooked in his eye. So it kind of like he's looking over there and over there at the end, and then the Vincent Price music, the Vincent Price laugh hits. Yo. Yeah, that's what it be. That's gonna be a new nickname, aka Vincent Price laugh. Ray says, don't tell it. Remember the times, Moonwalk, Captain EO. Yo, I finally this is a while ago. I went to Disney and finally got to see Captain EO. That was a weird little flick, man. Mike was on that ish. Caitlin says about New Year's, it was made doubly worse by he. Oh, did I miss a piece? Did you say something else? Oh, Caitlin says my toddler tried to stay up, but he was out at 11:15. Wow. All right. And then it was made doubly worse by he and I having the. Oh man, you got the vid. We then shared to the other three. Ugh, Happy New Year. I think I missed somebody else. Yeah, Ray says people out there doing way too much after midnight. We gonna let it all hang out. Pause. Hey yo. Oh, I love it. Um, I've been having really low key New Year's. Sometimes I like a couple commitments. Say if you're boot up, where it's just like let's go to bed. You know what I mean? It's just like what? Why are we staying up? This is dumb. You just kind of call it. Ray says Mike released full on movies for all of his hits back then. Yes, sir. But I love that Thriller tape, man. And this isn't really where I wanted to get on the drive on the on ramp for the '80s, but I've talked a million different ways from Sunday about uh, the Gen X hour, which is Coffee Break with Jay and welcome. But thinking about how quickly technology has advanced in the past 50 years, pretty crazy, right? If you think about it, you know, I there's this author now I forget his name. That's crazy. Who has just been Ronaldo? We were talking about has just been bombing Facebook and Instagram with reels because he's promoting his new book, but he's just doing really interesting kind of like factoids. Like, hey, did you ever notice, or because I'm Gen X, you ever wonder? And I've been really into this guy. What is his name? Is it Jason Pargin? I think that's who it is. And he's this writer who's written a million books. And the one that I started with, that I think was one of his first, was called John Dies at the End. And he had a pen name, and his pen name was David Wong. And I believe that was his pen name because he was also a character in the book. So it was supposed to be like the memoirs of David Wong, who was in some kind of apocalypse type of thing. And then you find out that he had a whole other name. But anyway, he just kind of appeared in my life, and he's been all over the internet. And he does these really interesting factoids. Yo, hold on, give it up for claps times 5. What up, Shogun? Good to see you. Oh wait, so yeah, so I missed all of this, Ray. But this guy, he's like, I don't think I want to say I'm crushing on dude, but it's just like this guy's got it all figured out. And he's really smart. And he's just like one of the things I just watched that I wanted to talk about tonight was he's been kind of connecting the dots on a lot of stuff. Where one of the things he said, have you noticed that people walk around on their phones and they just talk like there's none of this. People are just like talking like full blast out loud on their phones in just mixed company, and how the social graces have eroded because the way cell phones have adapted over the years is that there's really no way for you to kind of be private on a thing. And then even Facebook and Instagram, that used like Facebook used to just be pictures, right? Pictures and type and text. And now it's all video. So everything you got to listen to, which is now just turned into people just like, "Brr." And the part of that that really stuck with me, who's like, Even not so long ago, if you were sitting in mixed company and you pulled out your phone at the table, that was rude. Right? 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 You're doing this. Yo, Jerry, I see you. I'm crushing on dude. And now, because iPhones don't even have jacks anymore, and what's up with the earbuds? It's kind of changed the culture, which I thought was really interesting. Yo, happy New Year to Jerry Kraft. I'm gonna run out of coffee, you guys. I gotta give a sip. But hold on, where's my Johns? Guys, you know who my best bud is up in this piece. Let me find the right thing here. Guys, get your pinkies up for my good friend, Newbery Medal Award winning, Coretta Scott Award winning, New York Times best selling, first base Jerry Kraft, second base Jerry Kraft, shortstop Jerry Kraft, sip of coffee, Jerry. Yes. How are you, Jerry? Hold on, I gotta put you up on the screen now because I don't think people believe that we're friends. I don't know, man. Is that a good enough proof of life? Does that work? Good to see you, brother. But yeah, yeah, I'm loving it. Yo, who else just showed up here? Yo, Jimmy, what's up? Happy New Year, Jim. That is rude, right? Just think of how, like, just like over the past 10 years, that just, you're at this supermarket and people are like, blah, 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 right? And that's how you hold a phone now, like this on speaker. Nobody puts it to their ear. And even you go back a little further when people would say things like, call me, nobody, I mean, this is kind of like, a thing now, but like, call me is done. Like, you go like this, yo, call me. Or people don't, kids don't answer the phone. Bill, what up, Bill? Good to see you. Bill says USB-C is the end all connection. It should have been because the androids are out here telling y'all. Yo, bonjour, mon ami. Bonjour, Christophe. How do you say Happy New Year in French? Good to see you, Christophe. Shoga says, I just got some new headphones. I got a USB-C dongle. Pause. To plug it into things. Pause. Yeah, look, that's wild. Ronaldo says, I just read an article the other day about manners changing and how we shouldn't be rigid with them anymore. Call me the old man, but that is some BS. I'm with you. Oh, like bon anniversary, bon année. Like, it's almost like mon ami, bon année. Thank you, Christoph. Happy New Year, my friend. Paul Pate says, when I'm out with wifey, I keep the phone in my pocket. I like it. Oh man, Bill, that's crazy. See, that's all we need. We don't need that. Eternity forever. What up? Happy New Year, my man. Look at everybody. Look at all the chickens coming home to roost. Dongle does sound dirty. Ray, I thought you were leaving. Ray says they even stop excusing themselves and walking away from the crowd to talk. Right. People are just like, yo, so anyway. Oh, so what dude said was like there used to be a moment where that was rude to kind of even look at your phone in mixed company, but the unwritten rule was that if you were in real life in person with somebody, that person was more important than who wasn't there. That is gone because the way the ego is shifted and whatever I'm doing is more important than who's in front of me. That's a really interesting head trip, isn't it? Yeah, Bill says on Sunday supper with the fam, the phone is not to be seen. Huh, yeah. Christoph says, I sometimes have to speak loud on the cell phone, but I keep it short. Interesting. Shogun says, I still make the phone handset sign with the thumb and pinky extended when talking about phone stuff. Yo, you into phone stuff? Chris says, so for a BlackBerry, would it be a Dongleberry? I might have a surprise for you guys. Carla says, thank you, Carla. Let's bring it back to some normalcy. I believe we at least should try to be polite. Yes. Ronaldo says, I still do the rotary phone hand signal when I talk about dialing. Is that that's funny. How did we get here? So, I mean, I was going to talk about, my first VCR, which was like crazy. Oh, well, hold on, Shogun. I didn't show you guys. You guys know because the P and Dubs know. I don't know everybody. Yeah, that's a thing. So another thing that's been going on is all right. Hold on. Bill says, while using the speakerphone in public is legal, so is me doing the Will Smith tap to the phone. Oh, my first VCR was a top load. I don't even think they made front loaders yet. Pause. So it was probably this big. Oh, we're all 13 on at group. So it's probably like this big, and all of us was just like retro rotors and cogs and sprockets. And I remember it had a remote tethered to the device. It was a remote that had a wire attached to it. So it wasn't really that remote. Like it gave you like a nice length of cord, but you couldn't, you had to plug it into the front of the thing. And I remember very specifically that I think it had pause. I feel like it had pause play, maybe like pause, stop, play, and forward. I don't think it rewound. I don't think it rewound, you guys. No, don't leave. You can hang out. But if you do leave, we'll see you, right? Good to see you. And oh, also, yeah, it didn't have an eject button on the thing. So if you actually had to get up, you had to get up and press eject for the to open. Then you fed the thing into it. And you had to, I think you had to like slam it down. It didn't have like soft eject pause. And I also remember we one of the first things that we had to buy for it was like a rewinder because we had heard that you would like kill your VCR if you just like hard rewound from the device. So that's when everybody had the little car, like the little car joints in the living room, and the lights would come on. That was my first. By the time we were done, like it was like this big, and I had a couple of VCRs. I kept a VCR, y'all. I still, and my one of my like my college TV is like a little 13-inch JVC something with the VHS slot in it. I still have it. It still works, barely, but it still works. All right, let me get to some of these statements because you guys are talking. Um, that's right. Only Kirby has could hold this giant VCR. Paul Pate says, so back in the caveman days, you'd come across a stranger and attack them. Today we ignore them. There was a brief golden age of humanity where we were friendly to each other. Yeah, that was born. Ronaldo says, if you're going to leave on speaker in public, I'm within my rights to walk up behind you and yell, Venus! Into the phone for your friend. Yo, it was all pauses. Jerry said, mine was a JVC that lasted for years. One of the, yeah, you needed that. Oh, hold on. I got to give you that. That was good. Oh, that was right on time. You need a head cleaner, yo. Yo, you still have your rewinder? Do you have a VCR still? That's right. You put the little joint. You got the little solution to drip on there. Oh man, I didn't think I didn't think we were gonna sit on this. This is great. Yo, E, what up, E? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Happy New Year, my man. I hope and yo give E some props. He's enjoying his Jamar crate full of riches and wonders. And I don't know if we have time. Maybe we'll do another Nod John prize tonight. I don't want to get you guys too used to that. I'm not going to do them every time. But maybe I got another one in here for you. I don't know. What do you think? You got to let me know what you think. Ronaldo says, I remember us renting a VCR for yeah, right. You could rent a VCR and then you get like a bag of tapes and maybe bring them back at the end of the week. Oh, I forgot about that. That was like early video rental. I remember us renting a VCR for a long time and it was like a piece of luggage. It was nuts. um, Bill says, "Oh, wait, consumer electronics show. They debuted the Clicks phone. It literally only does calls, WhatsApp, Slack, Gmail, and Telegram. Really? Have you seen? I think they're called Tin Can. Have you seen this? This is a new throwback phone that you use with your cell phones for your kids, like that actually has a handset and a cradle and a cord. And I think you can give. I think your tin can has a phone number that the kids can share with other kids, and they can like sit in the closet and twirl the cord. And the kids are getting addicted to it. Yes, we need to come back to normalcy, you guys. Check that out. Check the tin can out. I love it. Sean Chai says, I think we ignore people because there's too many of them. Once upon a time, we would see the same like 100 people for our entire lives. You're not wrong. Now we pass hundreds of strangers a day. We need to save our social energy for the people actually in our lives. Yo, I need to put that on a quilt. Carlos says, our dad used to pay me to rewind his blockbuster tapes. Oh, the Bernard Johns. Yo, it may be January, but it's always July when my man Julian's in the building. What up, July? Good to see you, brother. And I have to say, you guys, you know the magnetic pull of my 16 charisma with a +3 modifier is very strong. I keep in touch with a lot of you guys. If you know me, you know me. I shout out the homies all the time. I'll see you in the PMs or whatever. Julian's is a solid dude. Good to see you, brother. Oh, right. Ronaldo says that's that same garbage milk to clean the heads on your NES. Never worked. I remember I had I forgot what it was called. This is before you found out that going like this, you're ruining the contacts to your Nintendo tapes by so by the end of the NES, everybody had some sort of like system to make their their games play. It was it's such a pain in the ass. I still have my NES. It's still a pain in the ass. I even got the pins redone. I got a whole new 72 pin thing put in there. It still works when it feels like it. But I remember I went to Funko Land and I bought what was it, Babbage's? I can't remember. And bought an NES kind of cleaner, which was like a long it was a long pink cartridge that you had to join, right? You would like dab the solution on there and you would like rub it on there and you would put it in the thing and like I can't even say this without laughing. You would like basically try to clean the system by like uh, 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 violating your NES, and then it didn't work. Did your tracking dial ever work properly? Well, you had to like you got it to work once in a while. Well, I was going to say at one point I had, and tell me if you guys had this. At one point, I had more than one VCR. I had two VCRs And shout out to Gold Dubbing Cables. Yeah, I know you had some dubbing cables. It was like I felt like I could have worked for like the CIA. I could dub all types of movies. And that's where you kind of learn when you buy blank tapes, or if you were uh, the what do you want to say on Demon Time? Is that what the kids say? You're on Demon Time, and you would take like a real VHS tape and then just kind of tape right off of it. But that's where you start to learn about play speeds like SP, LP, and ELP. And I'm just like, yo, if I put it on ELP, then I can get more shit on the tape. But it looks like garbage. So, but yes, Ronaldo says it just moved the squiggly lines to the top of the bottom. Didn't remove them. He did. He just removed the headstones. Bill says, "Oh man, I want the tin can adapter that makes it like the GI Joe radio. It's got like that cord, like it's like the bin straw antenna in the back. You're like cranking it up. We need air support. Logging in the coordinates. That's the tin can. I went, yo, Jeff, happy New Year, brother. Good to see y'all. Good to see you, my man. E says our first VCR was one of the giant top loaders, but it also had a handheld camera. Nobody does this anymore. That's like Shaq at the dunking contest, where he's in the corner like. Uh, but it only filmed in black and white, and the cord was only 10 or 12 feet long, so it was pretty limited in function. That's wild. I had, there's an old coffee break where I played old Sony videos of that equipment. He is the administrator of this facility. Rimco Land. Oh man. Bill Bill says, I just found out that today was the Super Nintendo US version at two places. Oh, I knew that. He just Bill just found out that if you kind of like pull the two tabs out of the base of the Super Nintendo, you could play Super Famicom cartridges. I knew that, but yeah, that was we didn't even know about imports for real back then. I learned all about that in college. I should have been learning about other stuff. I had a good buddy who, to this day, we're still, all my college buddies were still good friends. Introduced me to the world of import games. He was like, "Yo, you see this game? Yeah, I can't read it. What is it? Yo, this is never coming out in the States. Wait, there's like what? There's like what? There's like games in Japan that ain't here. What? I was so sheltered. Pause. Speaking of VCRs, Jerry says, and don't forget, Grandma taped over my high school graduation because she ain't want to miss her stories. Yo, shout out to Boulder the Beautiful, my man. What was Dude's name? Oh, I always forget Dude's name. The guy who looked like a Bond villain. He says, "I'll be damned if I let any punk get his hands on my money." Uh, yeah, that's great. Chris says the copy protected tapes we tried to dub would have that big wave of distortion that repeatedly would go from the top to this. Guys, I think we were living in the best times. Oh, right. So Ronaldo's talking about the world. How about when things jump off, no one helps or tries to de-escalate? You just see about a half dozen phones come out. Yeah, that's right. World star. It's a really unfortunate timeline we're in. We're in the Biff Tannen uh, timeline. Shogun says nobody wants to be on camera getting shot because they tried to break up a fight. Very true. Um, I don't know where this episode went, guys. We talked way too long about VCRs. I'm surprised. I wanted to talk about the 80s, but we got there anyway. And I've been really interested in studying this really kind of not so slow crawl back to analog and people mm, just kind of like going, oh, wow, so this old way was better? That can't make sense, but I'm addicted to my cell phone, so maybe I should try this. To Jerry's point, the author guy I'm crushing on had a whole thing about, and now we're so far ahead that he's like, there's some young people who literally don't believe like the kids on bikes tropes from the 80s, like Stranger Things, ET, all that stuff that seemed like made up. Like they just made a movie about kids getting on their bikes and just like going to the next town with no supervision. Like we're that far between that it seems like that's a whole different like world. Like we didn't grow up like that. And what was interesting he was saying was, beyond the Gen X tropes that we always throw around on the show, that you know we were kind of like doing a lot of real world problem solving at a young age, which probably wasn't the best thing, but like you learned conflict resolution, you learned how to fight or fight. Was it fight, freeze, or flee? Right, all that stuff. Even the fact that yes, Paul. I don't even see people on bikes. The only people in the city I see on bikes, besides the hipsters, are crackheads in the in the middle of the neighborhood. Nobody just rides a bike. They're like drug lookouts. Like, where are we as a society? Paul says, "Hey, I think all the people falling down videos have saved my life. I see all the bad decisions I could avoid. We did that stuff, it's just we didn't tape it." Yeah. Yeah. So I want to maybe talk about, you know, it's weird to think that, as Ronaldo says all the time about drinking from the garden hose and all that kind of stuff, we all kind of, you know, like we didn't have Clorox wipes. We were growing up, all that stuff. A very Darwinian existence. Uh, maybe it wasn't that bad. Shogun says in the P and Dub, dudes riding bikes out here are either mountain bikers or guys with DUI. Yo, that's a great name for a band, guys with DUIs. Easy to tell them apart. If you're in the middle of somebody's neighborhood and there's just an old dude just like biking in a circle, a guard, those guard hose that get around. Um, so yeah, that is a good band name, isn't it? Guys with DUIs. Yo, write that down. Um, all right, let's do this. Hold on one second. I gotta move some stuff around. Give me one second. uh, all right, guys, this is what we're doing tonight because you guys need it. You needs it, precious. I am going to my bike pump. Hold on. Ronaldo says Indiana Jones was made in 1981 and it was about 1936. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. If they made a remake now, it would take place in 1980. But stop, 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 stop. All right, guys. I would be remiss if we did not do another Gnaw John prize. I'm very excited. I think that um, that you guys are getting used to my Gnaw John prizes. So what this is I am going to give you the phrase that pays, and then you have to actually record what I put on the screen and type it in the chat, and then we will pick a random prize winner who will receive a Jamar crate from your favorite friendly neighborhood Poobah, Jamar Nicholas. So let me do this first. I gotta make sure I have the thing. Hold on. I gotta set this thing up first. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can do this. I got that. Hold on, guys. You guys are being so patient. Thank you. I am going to present. I'm going to share my screen. And tonight, you guys, the phrase that pays is kids on bikes. So please type that into the chat. Type kids on bikes into the chat, and you will be entered into the Gnaw John prize giveaway. If you type it in lowercase or some shit like that, I don't know if it's going to work. Do it all caps. Paul Pate says, "Can I win again, but then send the Jamar crate to the contestant of my choose?" You could just, yeah, you can win again. You could just get two. It's random. I have nothing to do with this. So don't not enter because you won one before. Everybody can just be mad at you that you won twice. While you guys are doing that, Sean Chai says, "Well, that's how I got into art. If I couldn't be outside riding bikes and climbing trees, I needed something to keep me occupied." Yes. Yes. Bill knows a crate of awesomeness. Cha. And I have to say that the Jamar crates are certified gold. Gold. Anybody that has gotten a Jamar crate from me has lots of treasures in it. I know that Paul Pate, what up, Paul Pate, will just show up randomly at things like, "Yo, I can't stop playing with my Jamar crate paws." I think E just got one. And that's also a tier in my Patreon, is the Jamar crate tier, where several times a year I will send you a giant box of stuff. I don't know if you want that, buddy. I can make that one for you. You might not like it. Oh, what happened? I lost contact. Hold on one second. So yeah, there's a lot of people in this room, but I only see a couple of entries. Come on, you guys. Just see what's on the screen, type that in the chat, and hit return. Come on, you guys. Let's see. So, guys, maybe some people in the chat who have gotten Jamar Creates from me, tell me about some of your favorite things. Bill says the Stone Cold Steve Conley sticker is S tier. Now, there's two Stone Cold stickers. There's a Ronaldo Stone Cold Steve Conley sticker, which is amazing. It's got Steve Austin's the whole body, but it's got Steve Conley's face. Ronaldo, that might be my favorite thing. That might be my favorite thing that you've done. That Stone Cold Steve Conley sticker is amazing. And he's just like with the middle-aged logo with the vest. Conley 316 says back my Kickstarter. Yes, Paul Pate stickers are covering my drawing board. Yes, nice. Appreciate that. And that is the power of the JNN. Oh, Isha's the Leon Bucket Hat is the one. That's the hotness. Look at you guys getting hooked up. All right, I'm gonna check this. What are we looking at, you guys? 8 entries? That's it? I feel like there's like 20 people in this room, but only 8 people entered. I'm gonna give you 30 more seconds, you guys. Enter this again. See what's on the screen. Type that into the chat. I think it won't count if it's lowercase. Just see what you see that. Just type that and hit return, you guys. Come on. And if you're like, I don't understand what's going on, is that we're going to StreamYard has a giveaway app, and it allows once we have people enter, it'll randomly pick a winner. That's it. All uppercase, you guys. Follow directions. Come on. Thank you for helping each other out, you guys. Come on. Let's do this so I can get out of here. Um, I'm very excited to start this new year with you guys. Thank you, Ronaldo. And I think that we are going to have a smash bang good time. Oh, let me refresh this. I hope I don't break it. Did I break it? All right, it says I got 8 entries. All right, if that's it, that's it. If I could do it, so could you. Or maybe you're saying you don't want my Jamar Creed. Is that what you're saying? You don't want a curated box of goodness from your favorite cartoonist? I don't know, man. Playing with the fates. All right, you guys, that's it. Right. All right. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's get to and get my assets together. You know, my heartbeat. This is so intense, you guys. Like, I'm having palpitations. All right, you ready? Let's do it. Let's draw. All right, drum roll. Who won? Ronaldo! Yes. Congrats, Ronaldo. Ronaldo won the Ronaldo John prize. Good job, sir. Everybody give Ronaldo some props in the chat, you guys. Look at that. How cool is that? He's like, yes. Oh, that's hot. I appreciate it. Oh well, I appreciate that. It'd be cheaper to just deliver to you myself. That's right. Folks who don't want the Jamar Crate deserve decaf. You drinking orange caps, not brown caps. Congrats, Ronaldo. You did it. So, Ronaldo, you know how this works. Just get in touch with me and I will start the process. Chris was like, I was robbed. It was rigged. Good job. That was always fun. So, all right, before we wrap up, I want to talk about because there's always a method to my madness. So, I don't know what kind of phone you have. I already catch enough heat out in the world because young people don't think that having a non-iPhone phone gives you social cred. I've always been a counter iPhone guy. My whole life is Apple products. I have a Mac, whatever, MacBook, whatever, but I've never had an iPhone. I don't believe in them. I had an iPod Touch. Pause. I love that I have plenty of iPods. I've had iPads. Do not have an iPhone. Android all the way. I had my Nokia. I had my Motorola Razr. I had my slide phones. I love my T-Mobile slide. We've talked about this stuff before. Um, and I also one of my favorite moments in time was I was a big BlackBerry dude. Man, listen, I love my BlackBerry. And then at one point, my favorite I just triggered Bill. Yo, the sidekick was straight heat. The sidekick was straight lava rocks. Come on, man. The Joe flipped open and you're like, and when the and the BlackBerry totally went like this and then it went like that. But like you showed up at the edge of the bar, you put your BlackBerry on the counter, people were like, "Oh, you must be about that life." And I never was in it for all of that. Samsung Rugby, I love it. But I've always been like an Android guy, right? So now I'm getting pressured because I need to get a new phone. And the service is like, hey, get this, get this, get this. Trade in your old thing and get this, and your new phone will only be $1,800. These phones are out of control. What are you doing? Right. And and I'm not saying iPhone's a demon or whatever, but just even that tactic they did with taking the phone the headphone jack out. So you bought earbuds, and then people miss having wired earbuds, so they would buy an attachment wire to the earbuds, and then they're like, "Nah, psych." Then they put a USB in it, so now you got my John had a phone thing in it, right? Whatever. I didn't like how they were kind of like jerking the consumer, so you buy the next John every year. Oh, shout out to the Palm Pilot. I had one of those too. Bill says, "Oh, when it changed from the side wheel to the rollerball on the BlackBerry was a major step." Yes, the Pixel. People like the Pixel phone. So, and I was really close, you guys, to getting one of the new Galaxy. They have the Galaxy Flip, like where the actual screen, like just full. It's crazy. The Flip or the Fold. I'm about to do my jutsu. Hold on, what was it? I'm totally over time, you guys. I'm sorry. Uh, Wu Tang, Weezer, Wakanda Forever, Ultraman. I feel like I'm missing something. I had that too. I had all that stuff. Wu Tang. Yes. So I am going to introduce you to my new phone. Are you kidding? Yep. This isn't a BlackBerry, but there's a company that is making BlackBerry-ish phones. This is my new phone. There's no AI in it. It's an Android phone. It has very satisfying clicky clicks. And I want to get back to a place where I'm using my phone. Yo, right? But here's my normal phone. I mean, people think the galaxies are big, and it's just like I wish I had the ASMR, right? Yeah, it got some heft to it. I'm a man. I need some weight on that. I mean, pause. Right? It's just like if it works, it works. But I figured I need to get back to digital manipulation. It is a big boy. It's a big boy. I gotta give it a name. So rather than, and I almost got tempted into, you'll see it in a minute. Galaxy is coming out with a trifold phone. So you know how it goes like the new ones go like this. This one goes like this. In this, and it turns into like a iPad basically. David Bergman, Big Berg. Tell him, large Marge, sit ya. Sean Shai says, finally an accessible phone again. Talk about people talking to their phones all the time. But how else are blind people supposed to choose? Ooh, I like this. Atlas. I like that. My favorite Astro Boy robot. So I try to practice what I preach. Trying to make some new waves in 2026. Stay off the phone. Stop doom scrolling. Touch grass. Write things down. Yeah, it's crazy. These phones are crazy. And the phone's probably, I think the phone's $2,500. No thanks. That thing is so big. I wouldn't want to be on a train. I wouldn't pull it out. That's going to get straight Vic. That's an old '80s word. Like you ain't robbing me for my phone. Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open it up. Right. So that's where I'm at. So thank you guys for not judging me. You like Big Bertha. And when you see me out in the street, you'll be like, yo, what's up with that? And the last thing is that this was the same kind of style as my last favorite BlackBerry, the Passport. They called it the Passport because it's the exact same size of a passport. And I remember this is a while ago. I'm at IKEA and we're like buying stuff for the house. And I just come from work and I got on my collar shirt, whatever. I had this in the John. We get up to the line and I had my IKEA home thing, like your fob. I had it on the thing and I was like, and I showed it to him. And the dude was like, yo, is that a calculator? And the whole line stopped. Uh, I don't know. Maybe. Now, one thing that I'm going to miss is, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just use this as a PDA and just let this rock. Is that this one has my S Pen in it, and that was really helpful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to miss that. So we'll figure it out. But also, I don't want AI all up in my phone. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get back to like, oh, that man, I can't tell you how good that feels, y'all. Can you hear it? All right, this went way too long. Thank you guys. I'm almost out of coffee. Thank you for hanging out with me. Happy New Year. Guys, if you haven't considered joining my Patreon, I don't know what else to tell you. I will make a pros and cons list for you. I will. Thank you. Let's go on that cold dark night. But before we go, we have to say goodnight, John Boy. And I'll do my ID and we'll get out of here. Also, no Ringos tonight, no Sue's pose. We'll have to wait till the next fortnight to do that. But thank you guys so much. You guys are all leaders in your world. Go out into that dark night and inspire. All right, let's do it. You have been watching Coffee Break with JN with your boy JN. I do this for you. I did it for The Rock. Tell him, Ronaldo, if you don't join the that's a big, big problem. I see what you did there. It's a big, big problem. You got to hang out with me and my caffeines. You know who you are, caffeines. Friends and regulars, not decaf Coffee Break with JN. Dude, I don't know where JRD is. I think this might be the 6th or 7th year I've done Coffee Break with JN. That's a long time. That's a lot of coffee break. That's a lot of coffee, y'all. But I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't use my tools as a creative and somebody who's not hard to look at to steer you towards my creative work and also to build community. Right? So, guys, the chat is filling with nicknames of mine. Let's read some of those off. John Cena. Philly Shorts. That's ridiculous. Philly Donahue. I believe the Varangos did that one. Pope John Paul. I could pull that off, right? Philly Seymour Hoffman, yes. I've been doing it. You can see the gray. Yeah, it's been a while. And maybe the biggest and brightest one, the captain of this. Oh, the administrator of this facility. The captain of this ship, Jean-Luc Picard. You ready? Ah, yo, that's great. Robert Joy Jr. Yo, I got 2 videos of Count Scholastic. There are 4 Johns. Oh, yo, what up? What up, Sean? Bring back Detective Boogaloo. Yo, got stuff in the works, my man. Thank you for always being a supporter. I appreciate you, bro. I'm glad that you popped up, man. Good to see you. Happy New Year, bro. Hope the fam's good. Sean Tidford. These are good. I've seen fire. I've seen rain. All right, let's finish this out. So what happened here tonight? You hung out with me. We chopped it up real nice. And we're gonna go into 2026 celebrating. This is a tour year, y'all. This is another year where I get to bless the world with another uh, Leon graphic novel. Leon and the Big Big Problem will be out at the end of this year. Hope we make it. But I'm gonna need your support and your love to get us there. So thank you so. Ooh, I like that. We got so many good ones. So now that you've watched me drink a cup of coffee on my mouth, and you know how this works when I'm out of coffee, somebody wake up Hicks. Thanks for the XXL episode, you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace. Join a Patreon.